Hello, collective. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I feel like we are on like part 2 of yesterday's collective read. So, here we go. We have the sword and the fault line, the temple, the pilgrim, the seed, and the medallion. And, you know, yesterday there was this idea of another person. And I just kind of feel like there's an idea of, because one of the things was like, who is this? And that was immediately where my mind went when I saw these cards drop. I was like, okay, well, we're finding out who this is. I think we're stepping into that energy. So the fault line and the sword and the temple is where I want to start, because I think that there is an idea of like, I was trying to fix something that wasn't fixable. You know, like I was making a decision to honor something that didn't honor me in return. I was fighting for my right to have a voice, to have a seat at the table, to have this person, you know, like appreciate me and what I did for them. And that's not a healthy relationship, but I was so obsessed with having a relationship that I didn't focus on what it meant to have a healthy relationship, right? So I feel like this is like the conversation that's occurring, because I feel like there at some point in time, this is somebody who crossed your path along the way. For a lot of us, I know that's like, wow, could we be any more like, could you be a little bit more specific? But I think that it's somebody who had a lot of impact on you. Somebody who, you know, like you meet people, and like some people, and they really like, they impact you, you know, and then you part ways, and sometimes you think about those people. We are coming to Mercury retrograde, right? Yeah. So it does kind of have this idea of like, it's somebody who you met along the way, who I almost get the feeling when you were trying to heal this relationship, like this person crossed your path and they planted something in you that feels specific to you. Because there is, again, it's funny because Shelly and I went for a walk with the dogs after work, and we were talking about like things that happen where you just kind of feel like the universe is like, hey, just so you know, and I met this person today who it felt like, I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever see that person again, but what it felt like was the universe saying to me, hey, I haven't forgotten what you really want. Don't worry, I've got you. And I feel like this person served as one of those like reminders along the way from the universe of like, hey, I haven't forgotten what you really want. And I feel like you haven't forgotten what you really want either. And I feel like it's something that was planted in you along the way that you didn't take action toward because of the fact that you were focused on trying to fix something that was broken. Because I don't know who's here with me, but I feel like whoever it is saying to me, you know, like, because I kept getting signs along the way, like signs keep coming up, right? And it's that like, I knew then, but I was like, no, I'm gonna try and fix it. Like, this is what it's supposed to be. This is what it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna try and fix it. And then trying to fix it, and it breaks because it's not what you knew it wasn't supposed to be. The signs were all there. That is not for me. Like, every sign is saying, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. And somewhere along the lines, encountering someone who thought, like, when you encountered them, when you had a conversation with them, when you had this interaction with this person, you thought to yourself, there is hope for me to still do this. Like, I will meet someone along the way, even if that person wasn't the person. I will meet someone along the way who will actually do this with me, who will actually align with my dreams and my ideas, you know, like a point of encouragement. If not, you know, if you don't view it as a total loss, then you view it as a point of encouragement. And I just think that this point of encouragement is the direction that you want to go in. For some of you, it could be specifically a person. For some of you, if we are on part 2 of this other read, it's like this person who passed you along the way, like maybe you're going back to this person or they're coming back to you, like you're somehow circling back around to each other again. And there is a conversation occurring of like, listen, this is where my focus was, and this is why that's not where it needs to be, and this is what I want to focus on, and I know that this is your passion too. Like, do you want to do this? Because it just feels like a seed that had been planted in you previously. And it could be a relationship. It could be a passion project. You know what I mean? Like, take what resonates, how it resonates, and leave the rest. Yeah, network. But that's what happens when you just talk to people, you know, you start to notice, like, when people come as a sign, and when people, like, you notice that, like, the energetic messages that accompany them, you know. I don't know, I just feel like an energetic message that's accompanied with someone that's stuck with you, that you're circling back around to again. Because you're tired of always trying to fix something that can't be fixed, you know. I think that you're realizing that the time has come, and you feel like you don't, like, this isn't a time for me to be alone. I feel like the Hermit isn't showing up as like, I need to pull away. I feel like this is not a time for me to be alone. This is a time for me to take action. You know, like, because you have the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Wands, you know, the Six of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. There's just a lot of like, I feel like I've wasted enough time focusing on all these things that didn't really matter. And now I really just need to, like, take my good and go. And the only direction that I want to go in is the direction of this thing that served as this, like, reminder to me along the way that I could still do what I really wanted to do, you know, like what my goal is. You have the Two of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands. Again, partnership. I really do get the feeling that you're circling back around again to somebody who I think comes with a great sense of community. You know, like it broadens your community. It broadens your opportunity. I feel like where you felt like you had been struggling, you now feel like you're succeeding. The Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups, you know, this is like, no bullshit, something you love. You know, like, I just feel like no bullshit. Like, the bullshit's gone. The bullshit's done. You're not dealing with it anymore. You're done honoring it. You served your time, you know? And it's like, now it's time for you to take the good and go. And I feel like there was an opportunity that, like, presented itself at one point in time where you were like, but you're coming back around to it again. Okay. Collective. Let's see what else we get. The Four of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the Hermit again. You know, kind of what I want to say though, because I really don't feel like the Hermit is like an energy that you're coming into. I feel like if anything, it's an energy that you're exiting from, because it just feels like this, like, there's nothing more lonely than being in a relationship with someone who doesn't share in your passions, who doesn't share in your interests, who feels like they they show up long enough to get in your way of everything that you really want to do. And there are so many relationships like that in the world, because most people, I won't say most people, but a lot of people are more concerned with being in a relationship than they are with being in a relationship with somebody who's like actually good for them. You know, most people are good for now. And I feel like you've been in that, like, I'm going to try and make good for now, good forever, and it doesn't seem to work. And maybe it's because you're more focused on making something last forever than seeing whether or not it's actually something that has that durability, you know? And I feel like that isolation, that loneliness, that like, well, I'm going to stick this out for this person because, you know, like, well, maybe they'll get it together, or maybe they'll show up, or maybe they'll, you know, whatever. Maybe they'll actually like come through and, you know, like not be a dick. But it's like, no, no. And I'm so tired of waiting, and I'm so tired of being alone and feeling like I'm fighting this battle by myself, you know, like, and why am I fighting a battle with the person I'm supposed to be in a relationship with? You know what I mean? It just feels like this. That's what you were honoring, you know? And then you realize, like, why am I honoring that? Why am I wasting my time and my energy on that? You know, like, shoot. You know, but like, while you've been isolated, you've been working on yourself. And I think the more you work on yourself, the more you feel like you're missing out on the thing that at one point in time crossed your path and gave you a sense of hope. And it's almost like, I've never had hope with this person, but with this person, I had hope. You know what I mean? Like, I had real hope, tangible hope. And I want to go where my tangible hope is. Justice, the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess, the Magician, the Lovers, and the Six of Cups. Well, again, it's just like what was is no longer. And I feel like it does feel like, and I know I said it last night, it was just that idea of like, you're leaving somebody behind to go and be with somebody else. And I feel like this somebody else is somebody who had crossed your path previously and given you a sense of hope, like sparked this magic within you that's giving you, for whatever reason, like, because it kind of feels out of the blue, like decision of courage to like really follow your intuition and make a sound judgment for what will sincerely demonstrate itself as loving, as abundant, as magical, you know? I mean, because there are points and times in our life where we encounter people, places, opportunities where it just feels like, it feels magical. And I don't know, because there are so many people who try to situate and orchestrate and manipulate and control. And you can feel that energy. Like, that does not feel divinely guided. That does not feel like it's full of the love of the universe. And you can very easily distinguish the love of the universe from the manipulation and the situating and the, you know what I mean? And like dictation of somebody's ego. You know what I mean? Like that's like shining a bright light next to like a dark room and saying, oh yeah, this dark room's a bright light. Sure. You know what I mean? But it's like you kept trying to find the light switch in the dark room and you couldn't find it. And then you're like, why am I trying? Like, is there even a light switch in here? I don't think so. I'm going to go ahead and go into the light. You know what I mean? Like, that's what that feels like, because the light peeked in one time and I saw what I could do. I saw the hope for a partnership that I really wanted. You know, and again, this could be something that you're just passionate about doing, that you're like really investing yourself into, you know, or it could be, you know, a person that you're working with and, you know, I don't know. Obviously take what resonates, how it resonates, and leave the rest, but it feels a lot lighter. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of, I don't know, because once you're checked out of a relationship, you're just, even if you're physically there, if you're emotionally checked out, I feel like when you finally do leave, you've been so emotionally checked out for so long that there's not a lot of emotion exerted in that departure. because you've already been departed. I feel like you've already been committed to something else. You've already been in your head thinking about, you know, like, this is the direction that I want to go, and daydreaming about, like, well, if only I could do this, and the one thing I've ever wanted to do, and you know what I mean? And just kind of like, when that opportunity presents itself to you, even if it presents itself to you at a time when you can't go toward it, you didn't forget about it. And I feel like you want to, like, I just feel like turning around and like going for that opportunity. Okay, well, collective, if this does resonate with you, please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.